Hello, we're live again. As usual, if you're tuning in when this is no longer a live video and it's just a normal YouTube video, you can take a look at the description. I'll put a timestamp to where the actual quiz questions begin. But in the meantime, I'm going to take a few minutes to spam the link around in a few places. YouTube is telling me my connection is unstable. Well, that's not doing anything. Hello, mysterious first viewer. All right, let me get the link and spam it out to a few places. We are going to start in about 10 minutes, about 7:35 Sydney time. If I don't break my microphone, that would also be good. Right. Hello, if you're tuning in, we're going to start in a bit. So grab a drink, grab some snacks, grab a friend, and we'll get started in about 8 minutes time. I need to spam the link around a few places first. We're live. Connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. Why is my connection unstable? Hello, if you're tuning in, I'm just going to debug some networking issues. Switch off power, and I'm all out of ideas. Well, we'll just have to see how we go. Hello, Carmen and John. YouTube is telling me my connection is unstable. Don't know what that means. We'll just have to deal with it. I am spamming the link around on the intertubes. Hello, Caroline. Why is my connection so slow? Perhaps the 13-year-old in another room is chewing up all the bandwidth. Anyway, where's the event? Here's the event. I assume you can hear me okay through the microphone, which has a blue light on it, which is a good sign. We'll be starting in about 7 minutes. Thanks, Caroline, for letting me know you could hear me. Where is the message that I want to post? The internet is very slow. How many episodes I've done of this? Quite a few, I guess. YouTube channel, if I was so inclined. My connection is unstable. Please wait while we retry connecting. I don't know why that is. Okay, where else do I need to post it? It'll be interesting to see how many people we get tuning in this week, because I didn't. Last week I posted the event quite a few days in advance, and I spent a few Facebook bucks on promoting the event. And we had record numbers of people tuning in. This week I didn't do either of those things, so let's see what happens. Hello, Simone. starting in about 5 minutes. Tonight, I'm drinking Captain Morgan and Coke premix because it was cheap. And it's been a while since I've had rum, I have to say. All right. Brings back memories of drinking too much rum. But at least I can still drink it, unlike, for example, tequila. Hello, Kim. Hello, Meg and Paul. I've got my standard, I think this has become my standard trivia hat now. Partly because it's such an enigma, no one knows what it's called. And partly because I quite like it. Simone had some red wine. Hello, ads. I've even opened up my questions in advance. Isn't that good of me? So this week, trivia, I had Zambrero, which I haven't had in a while, and it's very good. I do like Zambrero. They have a new, it's like a triple tea tornado truffalo or something. It was quite nice. Okay. Hello, Pierre. I wonder if we're going to get Pierre tuning in. Caroline is having water, trying to quit weekday drinking. Yeah, I did say when this whole lockdown thing started, I said, this will be a good opportunity to not drink any alcohol for a while. You know, take a break, have a dry July, which lasts for as long as lockdown does, not knowing it would last this long. I think I made it about 2 weeks, and then, yeah, which is strange. I'm not really much of a drinker, but I used to drink when I would go to the pub for trivia. So now that I'm doing trivia not from the pub, I'm still drinking at home. Anyway, all things in moderation. So I am having some messages from YouTube saying your connection is unstable. Please wait while we try reconnecting. Don't know what's going on. I assume the piece of string that connects. Well, I don't know. Anyway, on audio, let me know and I can type the questions in the little chat box, or I can just repeat them. So 7:33, we'll get started in a couple of minutes. So just a quick run through how it works in case you don't know or you've forgotten. Kim says, I keep spinning. We can't see you on TV. iPad was okay, but buffering. Right. Let me go and have a look at... it's pretty good in terms of packet loss. Hello, Lauren. It's always nice to see someone new. So if you can't see me, that's not such a big deal. If you can't hear me, that is a problem. So let me know how you go. We're going to have to struggle through, I think. So yeah, the way this works is it's not a very original idea. It's basically pub trivia, but run via YouTube. So we're going to have 3 rounds. The first round is 20 questions that are relatively easy. And then I'll give you the answers. And then we'll have round 2, which is less easy. And I'll give you the answers. And then we'll have round 3, which is our very difficult / trick / silly question round. Hello, Daff. Yeah, so it's not the type of trivia where you need to be the fastest person typing in the comments or anything like that. Yes, as Simone is saying in the chat window, please don't type your answers into the chat window or you might find yourself muted. You're basically playing against yourself or against the quiz or against your friends. If you organize it, doesn't matter, as long as you're having fun. If you do want to be informed of future events, go to the Facebook page, Virtual Aussie Pub Quiz, or subscribe to this YouTube channel, or just tune in a little bit before 7:30 on a Tuesday night, AEST. Okay, with all that out of the way, Pierrot has a lot. And the Kings are on as well. We've got all the regulars, I think. Table. Just going to have to deal with it. Okay, round 1. Question 1. If an Australian postcode begins with the number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, Which state is it in? Also drinking rum. One of two things we have in common at the moment. Question 1, round 1. If an Australian postcode begins with the number 4, which state is it in? Pierrot has Kraken spiced rum. That sounds amazing. Question 2. In which fictional city does Batman live? My late dad loved his Captain Morgan. Well, sorry to hear about your dad, but he had good taste, I think. Not a huge rum drinker, I have to say, but it's all right. Question 3. In internet or SMS speak, what does LOL stand for? LOL. Question 3. In internet or SMS speak, what does LOL stand for? LOL. We're starting out pretty easy with round 1. I think round 2 is a little bit tricky this week. But then, every week I have difficulty judging the difficulty, so that's okay. Question 4. Which is smaller, an atom or an electron? Question 4. Which is smaller, an atom or an electron? My connection is unstable. I know what it is. It's whenever I touch the bottle of rum, YouTube complains. Question 5. What is the national anthem of New Zealand? Question 5. What is the national anthem of New Zealand? Question 6. What is the name given to various small robotic dogs on Doctor Who? Question 6. What is the name given to various small robotic dogs in the TV series Doctor Who? Assuming I'm still connected to the internet and you can all hear me and you're all quiet because you're all thinking hard about small robotic dogs. Question 7. Which planet is 2.5 times as massive as all the other planets in our solar system combined? Question 7. Which planet is 2.5 times as massive as all the other planets in our solar system combined? Do a little bit of Facebook maintenance while you're thinking about that one. Okay, question 8. In which sport would you use a piton? Piton. Question 8. In which sport would you use a piton? Piton. If you're tuning in for the first time tonight, feel free to jump into the comments on the YouTube channel and say hello. There's a pretty regular crowd of friendly people in there. Question 9. Who plays the voice of Donkey in the Shrek films? Question 9. Who plays the voice of Donkey in the Shrek films? If you find you can't post in the comments, I think it's because YouTube has made a rule that you need to have a channel in order to post comments. So I think if you go to your settings and you just set up a default channel, you'll be able to post comments. If you're that bothered, otherwise, don't worry about it. Pierre says, I'm not that friendly. Question 10. What is the more common name for the patella, a part of the body? Question 10. What is the more common name for the patella? P-A-T-E-L-L-A, the patella, which is a part of the body. Hello, elated Matt. Tuning in a little late. Pierrot says, James made this round 1 too easy. I know some of the answers. Michael Schumacher sustained serious head injuries in 2013 during what activity? Question 11. 7 times Formula One world champion Michael Schumacher sustained serious head injuries in 2013 during what activity? My connection is unstable. I'm assuming it's working and it's getting through. But I am getting warnings from YouTube, so if you do have trouble with the audio, let me know and I can repeat questions. Matt says, pizzas took a while to make this evening. And what is on your pizza tonight, Matt? Question 12. Which Norse god famously uses a hammer as a weapon? Question 12. Which Norse god famously uses a hammer as a weapon? We could do a bonus point for knowing the name of the hammer, but I'm pretty sure we had that in an earlier question. All right. A bonus point if you know the name of the hammer. Question 12. Which Norse god famously uses a hammer as a weapon? And for a bonus point, what is the name of the hammer? Lady Matt says anchovies. You have a pizza which is just covered in an inch-thick layer of anchovies? That sounds sticky. Question 13. Which former member of the Wiggles is famous for sleeping at odd times? Question 13. Which former member of the Wiggles is famous for sleeping at odd times? Oh, and prawns, olives, and capers, says Matt. Wow, that sounds flavorsome. Anchovies, olives, and capers. That's a whole pile of umami going on there. Question 14. Approximately 750 miles east of Australia, New Caledonia belongs to which country? I'm having deja vu about that question. Have we had it before? Question 14. Approximately 750 miles east of Australia. Why is it in miles? Anyway, New Caledonia belongs to which country? I've not had that before on this quiz. My deja vu is from some other format of quiz. Matt says, it's quite intense. I imagine it is quite an intense flavored pizza. Question 15. The Port Arthur Massacre in Tasmania occurred on the 28th of April in which year? Question 15. The Port Arthur Massacre in Tasmania occurred on the 28th of April in which year? Question 16. Generally speaking, which is larger, a llama or an alpaca? Question 16. Generally speaking, which is larger, a llama or an alpaca? Question 17. Which is the largest inhabited island in the Whitsundays? Question 17. Which is the largest inhabited island in the Whitsundays? I had sombrero for dinner tonight. It was pretty good. Question 18. It's almost a round 3 question, this one. Anyway, question 18. What is the first name of the main character in the 1986 movie Crocodile Dundee? So I guess Crocodile is a nickname. What's the actual first name of the character? So question 18, what was the first name of the main character? You could say the title character in the 1986 movie Crocodile Dundee. And there's some sort of remake or sequel or reboot of it or something happening. It's either on Netflix or Prime Video, one of those, with Paul Hogan in it. I'm not holding my breath for that one. Anyway, question 19. The AIM-9, which is the most widely used air-to-air missile in the West, is more commonly known by which reptilian nickname? Question 19. The AIM-9, the AIM-9, it's the most widely used air-to-air missile in the West. It's more commonly known by which reptilian nickname? Caroline says, I pictured most of Australia to be like that. Large uninhabited islands, I suppose, yes. So where are you then, Caroline, if you're not in Australia? And what are we up to? Question 20, the last one in round one. Then we'll have the answers in a bit. For 1 point each, who are the two stars of the film trilogy Rush Hour? Rush Hour, R-U-S-H space H-O-U-R, Rush Hour. There's two stars in that film. Who are they? That's the actors I want, not the characters, because it's not like I'm going to watch them. Question 20, for 1 point each, who are the two stars, as in the actors, of the film trilogy Rush Hour? I have a message on Facebook. That brings us to the end of round one. I'll go give you a minute or two to think about that. And if you need me to repeat any of those questions because of sound issues or whatever, let me know. Caroline says, now Melbourne, but I'm a Brit. So I was quite surprised at how cold it gets. I am also a Brit from very long ago. Okay, Peter on Facebook says he didn't hear 17. So question 17 was, which is the largest inhabited island in the Whitsundays? That was 17. Which is the largest inhabited island in the Whitsundays? And he also didn't hear 19, which was the AIM-9, the most widely used air missile in the West, is more commonly known by which reptilian nickname? So 19 was the AIM-9, the AIM-9, which is the most widely used air-to-air missile in the West, is more commonly known by which reptilian nickname? So by air-to-air missile, I mean it's a missile that one plane uses to shoot down another plane. Narelle would like question 17 repeated, which I have already done. And Caroline would like question 2, which was, in which fictional city does Batman live? Question 2 was, in which fictional city does Batman live? Okay, I think that's all the repeats we needed. We do last little bit of Facebook maintenance before we start going through the answers. So let's go through the answers to round one. Question 1 was, if an Australian postcode begins with the number 4, which state is it in? It is in Brisbane. Sorry, it's in Queensland. Brisbane is not a state. I got confused. Peter says the breakup is getting bad. Yep. Not much I can do about that, unfortunately. If you do not hear something, just let me know and I'll repeat it. So the answer to question 1 is Queensland. Question 2, in which fictional city does Batman live? He lives in Gotham City, G-O-T-H-A-M City, Gotham City, or just Gotham is fine. Question 3 was, in internet or SMS speak, what does LOL stand for? It stands for laugh out loud. Question 4, which is smaller, an atom or an electron? Well, an electron is a subatomic particle, so it's smaller. So the answer to question 4 is electron. Question 5, that is, God defend New Zealand. From what? I'm not sure. But anyway, the answer to question 5 is God defend New Zealand. Question 6, what's the name given to various small robotic dogs in Doctor Who? The answer is K9. There's been various K9s over the years. So it's K dash, the letter K dash the number 9. Alright, is James cutting out a lot? Yes, I am, unfortunately, but I'm not sure what I can do about it because the network all looks okay to me. I'm just getting occasional bursts of packet loss. So I'm assuming that's the NBN not working very well. If you want to give me one moment, I can go out and make sure that nobody else is chewing up my bandwidth. So why don't we do that? What are we up to now? We're up to question 6. I'm just going to get up and I'm going to go for a quick walk. So talk amongst yourselves while I go and check out the other use of the network. One sec. Hello. Problems with the NBN? Maybe. Right. Well, I couldn't see anything obvious, but I closed a few things and instructed the 13-year-old to do something else. So we'll see how we go. Right, what are we up to? Going through the answers to round 1, we were up to question 6. The answer is K9. So question 7. Hello. Thanks, Carmen. Good to be back. Hopefully with new improved bandwidth, but I'm not holding my breath. Question 7. Which planet is 2.5 times as massive as all the other planets in the solar system combined? Bit of an easy one. It's the big one. It's Jupiter. Peter says it's much better. Okay, well, maybe it was something on my other PC. Question 8 was, in which sport would you use a piton? That is in climbing, so rock climbing or whatever, as long as you've got climbing. It's one of those pin things you hammer in and run a rope through, I think. Question 9, who plays the voice of Donkey in the Shrek films? That is, of course, Eddie Murphy. Hard to imagine. He went from Delirious and, was it Beverly Hills, to being the voice of Donkey. Anyway, sure he's done very well out of it. Question 10, what's the more common name for the patella? That is the kneecap. So the answer to question 10 is the kneecap. And YouTube is telling me our connection is still unstable. So sorry, guys. We just have to work our way through it. Question 11. 7 times Formula One world champion Michael Schumacher sustained serious. Kind of amazing. You spend your very long career doing one of the most dangerous sports in the world, and then you fall over and bang your head while skiing. Anyway, question 12. Which Norse god famously uses a hammer? That is, of course, Thor. Thor, Thor. And for the bonus point, we wanted the name of the hammer. It is Mjolnir, or some approximation of that. Mjolnir. Question 13. Which former member of the Wiggles is famous for sleeping at odd times? That is Jeff. Not Grabthar, no. Buy Grabthar's hammer. Galaxy Quest reference. Kim would like the answer to 11 repeated. Sure, that Michael Schumacher hit his head while he was skiing. Question 12 was Thor. Question 13 is Jeff. And part of my brain thinks that they discovered that the actor who played Jeff actually had some sort of sleeping disorder. Anyway, question 14. I'm not going to repeat that, Pierrot. Question 14. Approximately 750 miles east of Australia, New Caledonia belongs to which country? It is an overseas territory of France. So the answer to 14 is France. Question 15. The Port Arthur massacre occurred in 1996. So the answer to 15 is 1996. Question 16. Generally speaking, which is larger, a llama or an alpaca? It's a 50-50 question. The answer is llama. Adult llamas are generally 1.7 to 1.8 meters tall and weigh between 130 and 200 kilos, whereas alpacas are generally under 1.5 meters tall and under about 90 kilos. So the answer to question 16 is llama. Llamas are generally larger than alpacas. Question 17. Which is the largest inhabited island in the Whitsundays? That is Hamilton Island. Question 18. What is the first name of Crocodile Dundee? His first name is Michael. He's Michael Dundee. There you go. If anyone sees that new series, let me know how terrible it is. Question 19. The AIM-9, the most widely used air-to-air missile in the West, is more commonly known as the Sidewinder missile, as in Top Gun and every other air shooty, Rudy Patootie type movie. Sidewinder missile, named because it's a sidewinder is a type of snake that moves sideways through the sand, and because it steers from the rear, that missile, when it moves through the air, it looks like a sidewinder snake moving. So the answer is Sidewinder. And round one, question 20 for 1 point each. Who are the two stars of the film trilogy Rush Hour? That is Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. So 1 point each for those. And if you need me to put for 18, because I think he gets called Mick in the movie, Mick Dundee. And it's only round one. Mick is a pretty common nickname for Michael. Pierrot says, either the rum is doing me wonders or the quiz was pretty easy. 13. I think round one is pretty easy. But brace yourself, because I think round two is quite difficult. We'll see. 17 for Ads, 17 for Caroline, and only 15 for Simone. Ooh, it's not often that Simone gets outplayed by other players. Peter got 18. 16 for Matt. 15 for Pierre. 14 for Lauren. Not too bad for a newcomer. 15 out of 5. Oh, 15 and a half, I assume you're saying? Do we have half points? No. So I don't know what you got. Daff says, yes, I'm ahead of Simone. I got 17. There you go, Simone. You're a benchmark by which others measure themselves. How does that feel? Narelle thought the movie was Rush. Ouch. Simone might do a comeback in later rounds. I'm sure she will. She'll pull it out of the bag in the third round. You just wait. Okay, so that wasn't too hard. Round one. 16 for Kim. All right, let's get started with round two, which I think is more difficult. Who played the fast-talking DJ in Good Morning Vietnam? Yet more 80s movies. Question 2, round 1. Who played the fast-talking DJ in Good Morning Vietnam? Question 2. The accent and Elantra. Question 2. The accent, Sonata, and Elantra are all cars made, or maybe used to be made, by which manufacturer? Repeat question, please. You went robotic. Okay, question 1 was, who played the fast-talking DJ in Good Morning Vietnam, and which manufacturer? Narelle got 19, Stephen got 14. Ouch. Question 3, where in your body are your quadriceps? Question 3, where in your body are your quadriceps? Quadriceps. I realize now if I have a tongue malfunction and mispronounce something, I can just pretend that it's a bad connection. So question 3, where in your body are your quadriceps? Caroline still missed question 2. Okay, Caroline. I'm going to type it in the chat for you. But question 2 is, the Accent, Sonata, and Elantra are all cars made by which manufacturer? There you go. I'm putting it in the chat for you. Okay, question 3 was, where in the body are your quadriceps? Question 4 is, what is the name of Fred Flintstone's daughter? Question 4, what is the name of Fred Flintstone's daughter? Let's test a theory. If I touch the rum, does my channel drop out? No, still working. Okay, question 5. If someone describes themselves as Pinoy, P-I-N-O-Y, which country are they or their culture probably from? Question 5. If someone describes themselves as Pinoy, P-I-N-O-Y, which country are they or their culture probably from? And apparently the link did drop out as I was drinking my rum. Maybe that's what it is. I'm sure we can struggle through. We've got that COVID spirit, that wartime solidarity. It's us against the invisible enemy. of viruses and lost internet packets. Question 6. Which Bible character was supposedly left by his mother to float down a river in a basket? Question 6. Which Bible character was, I don't think we need the word supposedly in there anyway, which Bible character was allegedly, reportedly, left by his mother to float down a river in a basket? Let me consult my Bible, says Pyrrha. You mean you haven't memorized it? What have you been doing with all your time? Question 7. In the September 11 attacks, 2 planes from the airline called American Airlines were used, and also 2 planes from which other airline? Slightly confusingly worded question, but question 7. In the September 11 attacks, 2 planes from the airline called American Airlines were used, and also 2 planes from which other airline? So it's the same airline for the other 2. Pierre says, I've got one of those cars. Well, good for you. I can hear a cat. Question 8. Who is the current Princess Royal of the British royal family? Of the British royal family. I'm going to go and investigate that cat because we have one cat who's not really allowed out in the human area for reasons I'm sure you can imagine. So hang on a sec. It's all right. Steve the cat is not in the human area. He's out in the other area. I have 3 cats. Question 8. Lauren would like to hear question 8 again. It was, who is the current Princess Royal of the British royal family? So Princess Royal is a particular rank or position, I suppose you could say. So who is the current Princess Royal of the British royal family? Question 9. Which 80s band had hits with Dr. Doctor and Hold Me Now? Question 9. Which 80s band had hits with Dr. Doctor and Hold Me Now? That's slightly tricky because there's 2 popular songs that sound like Hold Me Now. You've got to pick the one that's actually called Hold Me Now for a start, and is by the band that also had a hit with Dr. Doctor. So how are we going? Round 2 is pretty easy so far, maybe. It's going to get more difficult, I think. I might close my email client because the last thing I need is that to happen, where things are chewing up 10 species found in the northern hemisphere in the wild. Almost a round 3 question. I agree. Question 10. Named after the island group they inhabit, which species of penguin is the only species found in the northern hemisphere? All other species of penguins are native to the southern hemisphere. This is the only one that is found in the northern hemisphere. It's named after the island group it inhabits. What are they called? Pierrot says, these are all insanely hard. Well, it is round 2. Wait till we get to round 3. Actually, I think there's a couple of multiple choice in round 3. Question 11. F.H. Men's Lifestyle Magazine, I'm told. But what did FHM originally stand for? Now, can we remember our NATO phonetic alphabet? Foxtrot Hotel Mike, I'm thinking. So FHM is a popular men's lifestyle magazine, but what did FHM Foxtrot Hotel Mike originally stand for? That was question 11. So far, so good, says Simone. Question 12. What did Captain Matthew Webb achieve on the 25th of August, 1875? Hey, that's today, a while ago. Question 12. What did Captain Matthew Webb achieve on the 25th of August, 1875? What did he achieve? I'm going to say he was the first to do something. Question 12. What did Captain Matthew Webb achieve on the 25th of August, 1875? Yes, I can see the little YouTube warning about connection is up. And now it's gone away. All right, so I'm going to repeat on the 20th to question 12. What did Captain Matthew Webb achieve on the 25th of August, 1875, which is today 135, 45 years ago? I might put that one in the channel as well. Okay, Narelle would like question 11 repeated. Question 11 was FHM, Foxtrot Hotel Mike, is a popular men's lifestyle magazine, but what did FHM originally stand for? Let me put that in the chat as well, just to make it a little bit easier. Okay, there we go. Right, question 13. Back in the Habit is the subtitle to the sequel to which film? Question 13. Back in the Habit is the subtitle to the sequel to which film? It's the subtitle or the tagline, and films have they sort of have the name of the film and then the sort of sub-name or subtitle. Lilia has liked the link. Hello, Lilia. I don't know if you actually tune in or if you just like the link on Facebook. But nice to see you. Question 14. This is multiple choice. In which year was the last recorded death from a redback spider bite in Australia? Was it A, 1955, B, 1985, or C, 2005? So question 14 was, in which year was the last recorded death from a redback spider bite in Australia? Was it A, 1955, B, 1985, or C, 2005? Just doing a little bit of Googling to confirm. But anyway. Right, we're up to question 15. Speaking of spiders, Mark Webber, get it? Web, spider. All right. Anyway, question 15. Mark Webber retired from Formula One racing at the end of the 2013 season. He went on to win the World Endurance Championship for which manufacturer? Mark Webber retired from Formula One racing at the end of the 2013 season. He went on to win the World Endurance Championship for which manufacturer? Okay, what are we up to? Question 16. In chess, what term is used when a player is not in check but has no legal move, resulting in a draw? Question 16. In chess, what term is used when a player is not in check but has no legal move? So the person hasn't lost the game because they're not in check, but they can't make any move. So the game is over. It's a draw. What's that called in chess? I'm furiously Googling. Got a question? Okay, good. What are we up to? Question 17. Which alcoholic beverage takes its name from the Spanish word for blood? Question 17. Which alcoholic beverage takes its name from the Spanish word for blood? Webb. And then we had the redback spider, and then we had Mark Webber. It's definitely a theme. Question 18. Which game features the character Cavity Sam? Cavity space SAM. Question 18. Which game features the character Cavity Sam? My connection is unstable. That's okay. I'll wait for it to pass. Question 19. Question 19. Humans have 33 vertebrae divided into 5 groups by location. This is multiple choice. Which group has the most vertebrae in it? Is it A, cervical, B, thoracic, or C, lumbar? Question 19. Humans have 33 vertebrae divided into 5 groups by location. Which group has the most vertebrae in it? B, thoracic, or C, lumbar? So we're nearly at the end of round 2. I'll give you the answers in a sec after we finished. Well, yes, the vertebrae are divided into 5 groups, but I didn't want to give you a 5-option multiple choice question. I've given you 3 of the 5 groups to make it even easier. That's how kind and generous a trivia host I am. And question 20, I apologize in advance. This is quite a Sydney/New South Wales specific question, but feel free to submit other questions if you like. But question 20 of round 2, for half a point each, name the 6 stations that make up the city circle in Sydney's CBD. Question 20, for half a point each, name the 6 stations that make up the city circle in Sydney's CBD. Those are train stations, of course. All right, let me know if you need any of those repeated. Again, apologies if the sound dropped out. If you need any of those repeated, let me know while I furiously Google redbacks, spiders. I originally got the info for it from. What is that? Okay, Peter says he missed number 17. 17 was, which alcoholic beverage takes its name from the Spanish word for blood? Question 17, which alcoholic beverage takes its name from the Spanish? Pierre would like to know if he can just name the 5 in Melbourne. No, because I don't know them. And Pierre would like 10 free points for nothing. Well, maybe I'll do that next week. Maybe I'll do train stations in Perth. Do they have trains in Perth? I don't know. All right, I think that's long enough. Let's go through the answers to round 2. If we're all happy. Okay, round 2, question 1 was, who played the fast-talking DJ in Good Morning Vietnam? That was Robin Williams. Pierre says, I'll be right, so you don't need to know the answers. Well, that's very kind of you. Question 1, the answer was Robin Williams. Question 2, the Accent, Sonata, and Elantra are all cars made by which manufacturer? The answer is Hyundai, or however you feel like pronouncing it. They do have trains in Perth, says Caroline. Lauren says, is there a newbie bonus? Yes, but points are not redeemable for cash. Question 3, where in your body are your quadriceps? Your quadriceps are in your legs. I think they're they're your thigh muscles. I think they're your big thigh muscles. When you're working on your quads, That's where they are. So as long as you said your legs, that's fine. Question 4. What is the name of Fred Flintstone's daughter? She is called Pebbles. Pebbles is question 4. Question 5. If someone describes themselves as Pinoy, they are probably from the Philippines. Question 5 is the Philippines. Question 6. Which Bible character floated down a river in a basket? That was Moses. Because the Pharaoh had apparently ordered all newborn Hebrew boys to be killed. So his mum put him in a basket and floated him off down the river. So the answer to 6 is Moses. Question 7. In the September 11 attacks, 2 planes were American Airlines, 2 planes were which other airline? They were both United Airlines. They were flights 175 and 93. So the answer to 7 is United Airlines. Princess Anne. The Princess Royal is the title of the monarch's eldest daughter. So the Queen's eldest daughter is Princess Anne. Question 9. Which 80s band had hits with Dr. Doctor and Hold Me Now? That is the Thompson Twins. The Thompson Twins. And you could almost have a bonus point where did the Thompson Twins get their name from, but it's hard to that. Of course, would be that the Thompson Twins are the 2 detective characters in Tintin, I think. Anyway, if you were thinking of a different song that you thought was called Hold Me Now, you might have been thinking of the song Hard to Say I'm Sorry, which is by Chicago. But anyway, the answer to question 9 is the Thompson Twins. Question 10. Question 10. Named after the island group they inhabit, which species of penguin is the only species found in the Northern Hemisphere in the wild? That is the Galapagos penguins. The Galapagos penguins, because the Galapagos Islands actually straddle the equator. So those penguins are found on the northern half of the islands, so they're found in the Northern Hemisphere. So the answer is Galapagos penguins. Question 11. FHM is a magazine. What did it stand for? It's For Him magazine. Pretty simple. Question 11 is For Him magazine. Question 12. What did Captain Matthew Webb achieve on the 25th of August, 1875? He was the first to swim the English Channel unassisted. It took him a little under 22 hours. 22 hours of swimming across very cold, inhospitable water. Anyway, the answer to question 12 is he was the first to swim the English Channel unassisted. Question 13. Back in the Habit is the subtitle to which film? That is Sister Act. It's kind of a nun pun. A nun pun. It's easy to say. So question 13, it's Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit. But the answer is just Sister Act. That's fine. Question 14. In which year was the last recorded death from a redback spider in Australia? Now, my spidey sense was tingling as I read this one out because I couldn't remember where I'd got the information from originally. But the answer is A, 1955. And to show my working, there was a very effective redback antivenom became available in 1956. And therefore, there have been no fatalities since then. And in fact, there have been no fatalities from a spider bite in Australia at all since 1979. So there you go. So I'm going to go with 1955. Question 15, which was A. Question 15, Mark Webber retired from Formula One racing. He went on to win the World Endurance Championship for which manufacturer? Porsche. Or Porsche, depending on how you want to pronounce it. If you want to pronounce it correctly, C sound, I think. Anyway, the answer to question 15 is Porsche. Question 16. In chess, what term is used when a player is not in check but has no legal move, resulting in a draw? That is a stalemate. So the answer to question 16 is stalemate. Question 17. Which alcoholic beverage takes its name from the Spanish for blood? Sangria. So there you go. The answer is sangria. It's basically fruit juice with tons of alcohol in it. It's really nice. You drink it, you don't even know you're drinking any alcohol, and then suddenly your legs don't work. That's what I find when I go and have tapas and sangria. Anyway, question 18. Which game features the character Cavity Sam? That is Operation. Remember the game? It's like a little, sort of like a board game where you've got your little tweezers and you're pulling out little plastic organs out of this guy laid out on the board. Well, the guy is a character, Cavity Sam. The word for blood is sangria, Sangria, sangria. And sanguine, but the drink is sangria. If you ever go to the Spanish restaurant, tapas restaurant, you can get sangria. It's delicious. Okay, what are we up to now? Cavity Sam is in the game Operation. Question 19, humans have 33 vertebrae, etc. Which group? It is B, thoracic, contains 12 vertebrae. There are 7 cervical, 5 lumbar, 5 fused sacral, and 3 to 5 coccygeal, forming the coccyx. So the answer is B, thoracic, as in the excellent back doctor's place called Thoracic Park. And question 20, for half a point each, name the 6 stations that make up the city circle. They are Central, Town Hall, Wynyard, Circular Quay, St. James. If you've ever travelled on the train around Sydney, you'll have that. It's almost like a little mantra, sing-song drilled into your brain. You hear it a million times a day. It is Central, Town Hall, Wynyard, Circular Quay, St. James, and Museum for half a point each. All right, if you need any of those answers repeated because the sound went weird and robotic, let me know. Otherwise, let me know how you went in round 2, and very soon we'll get started in round 3. 7 out of 20, not too bad, Pierre. Considering you said they were all crazy hard. Ad's got 12, Matt got 10. Elated Matt says, we have Operation, but I never knew the guy was called that. Well, there you go. That's the fun of trivia. Lauren got 13.5, pretty good. Caroline got 10.5. Simone got 14. She's slowly making her comeback. What? Peter got 15, pretty good. Pierre made a comeback in the second half. Yep, pretty good. I thought I actually got harder in the second half, so you did well. Kim got 15.5. Daff got 14. Pretty good. All right, so now we're going to have a round 3. Sydney question definitely helps, says Daff. Well, yeah, what are you going to do? You got to ask the things you know, I suppose. But the first question was about Queensland, so, you know. Simone says, yes, I used to ride the City Circle line a lot. Yes, I haven't really been to the city in quite a few years, and still I have that sort of running around my head. But anyway, so round 3, in case you're new, round 3 is where we put all the questions that don't really fit anywhere else. So they're either a bit silly, or they're cripplingly hard, or they're trick questions. Who knows? The point is, if you get any points in round 3, you're doing pretty well. And if you don't take it personally. Narelle got what? I'm confused with the scores now. 33 or 44. Okay, so I see you've got round 2 scores and running totals. Wow. So the long and the short of it is Narelle currently has 33 out of 44 and Stephen has 27.5 out of 44. You can still bring it back in round 3. Carmen had got 10.5, John got 3, and Joel got 8. Hello, Joel. I don't think I've said hello to you before. All right, let's get started with round 3. Question 1. It's a multiple choice. I asked for providing it. I'd like to know how you two are going against each other. I'm really emotionally invested in Stephen winning one day. All right, round 3, question 1. That's a confusing sentence. Which of these is the first name of the greatest number of US presidents? So it's multiple choice, and the answers are A, James, B, George, or C, John. Presidents. A, James, B, George, or C, John. So obviously what I'm asking is, which one of those names, James, George, or John, is the name of the most US presidents? Does that make sense? Yes, Stephen did win once. I remember. I was very excited. Question 2. In which city was former Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott born? Is that difficult? Is that a round 3 question? Question 2. In which city was former Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott born? Question 3. Which common chemical has the formula CH3CH2OH? Question 3 was which common chemical, so I want to know the common name of this chemical, has the formula CH3CH2OH? What do you think about that one for a minute? Question 4. Why is it useful to remember the phrase, rhythm has your 2 hips moving? Question 4. Why is it useful to remember the phrase, rhythm has your 2 hips moving? It's question 3. Oh, sorry, I should say it's round 3. Slightly tricky. Not too tricky so far, maybe. Question 5. Most people are familiar with déjà vu, but what is meant by the term presque view? Presque space VU. So question 5. But what is meant by the term presque view? And question 6. Most people are familiar with déjà vu. No, I'm only kidding. Question 6. Where might you use or have someone use on you a Brannock device? Question 6. Where might you use or have someone use on you a Brannock device? BRANNOCK, a Brannock device. Lauren says, can you please write that question? Which one? Hey, Pierre, be nice to Lauren. She's new. Okay, there you go. That's question 5 written in the channel. But in case you missed it, it was most people are familiar with déjà vu, but what is meant by the term presque view or presque view? PRESQUE space VU. All right, question 6 was where might you use or have someone use on you a Brannock device? Question 7, what is next in this sequence? Okay, so what is next in this sequence? Judgment Day, Rise of the Machines, Salvation, Genesis, what? Question 7, what's next in this sequence? Judgment Day, Rise of the Machines, Salvation, Genesis, what? All right. Question 8. What is unusual about Brigadier Sir Nils Olav III, Colonel-in-Chief of the Norwegian King's Guard and a highly decorated member of the Norwegian Army? Question 8. What is unusual about Brigadier Sir Nils Olav III, that's NILS space OLAV III, Colonel-in-Chief of the Norwegian King's Guard and a highly decorated member of the Norwegian Army? Yes, there's a fine line between bantering and bullying. It's good to be nice to the newbies, even if you do know them offline. So question 8, what's unusual about Brigadier III? Question 9, the first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. So is the second rule. But the 8th and final rule is what? Question 9. The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. Besides, it's an excellent movie. And question 10. In The Old Curiosity Shop by Charles Dickens, who did Fred Trent want to marry his sister Nell? It's multiple choice. Was it A, Dick Spinner, B, Dick Turner, or C, Dick Swiveller? Question 10, slightly puerile last question. In The Old Curiosity Shop by Charles Dickens, who did Fred Trent want to marry his sister Nell? Was it A, Dick Spinner, B, Dick Turner, or C, Dick Swiveller? Daff says, I think I'm heading for a 0 here. Well, I don't feel too bad. It is round 3. It's the dusty corner of trivia where we put all the obscure, strangely shaped questions. But that's the end of round 3. We'll wait a minute or 2 or 30 seconds or so. If you need any of those repeated because it went a bit weird with the sound, let me know. Simone says, it sounds like porn name actors. I think that's kind of the joke. Yep. Carmen would like question 9 again, please. Okay, question 9 was, the first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. So is the second rule. But what is the 8th and final rule of Fight Club? And Kim would like question 10 repeated. Question 10 is, in The Old Curiosity Shop by Charles Dickens, who did Fred Trent want to marry his sister Nell? Was it A, Dick Spinner, B, Dick Turner, or C, Dick Swiveller? Pierrot says, I know none of these. Caroline says, I could be heading for 0 too, unless I had some lucky guesses. Well, 2 of them were multiple choice. So, you know, you got a 1 in 3 chance on both of those. And then we'll have our Who Am I? Or maybe 2. Okay, so round 3, question 1, slightly confusingly worded, but which of these is the first name of the greatest number of US presidents? Was it A, James, B, George, or C, John? The answer is James. It's 5, or 6 if you include Jimmy Carter. And John had 4, A, James. Question 2, in which city was former Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott born? He was born in London. Not really a trick question. It's just maybe not that well known. Anyway, question 3, which comical element, well, it sort of is, which common chemical has the formula CH3CH2OH? That is simply ethyl alcohol or ethanol. If you said alcohol or ethanol or ethyl alcohol, that's all fine. That's correct. Question 4. YouTube saying I'm unstable. Not the first person to say that. Question 4. Why is it useful to remember the phrase, rhythm has your 2 hips moving? So now YouTube says it's happy again. So question 4. Why is it useful to remember the phrase, rhythm has your 2 hips moving? It's because the words spell out the correct spelling of the word rhythm. So it's a memory device. It's a mnemonic. It's a mnemonic to spell the word rhythm. So rhythm has your 2 hips moving is the first letters are RHYTHM, which is how you spell rhythm. So as long as you had something about spelling in there, that's fine. Question 5. Most people are familiar with déjà vu, but what is meant by the term presque view? Well, if you had it on the tip of your tongue, you couldn't quite remember what it was. That's what it is. Presque view is the sensation of being unable to recall something that you know, or the sensation of having it on the tip of your tongue. Okay, question 6. Where might you use or have someone use on you a Brannock device? Well, if you've ever been to a shoe shop and you've had your foot measured with that slidey thing that measures the length and the width of your foot, that thing is a Brannock device. Invented by Mr. or Mrs. Brannock, I imagine. So anyway, the answer to question 6 is in a shoe shop. It's the sliding shoe measurement tool. Now you know why that's a question. That's a round 3 question. Question 7, what is next in this sequence? Judgment Day, Rise of the Machines, Salvation, Genesis. What? Well, of course, they're all sequels to the original 1984 Terminator film. Yes, there's been that many. And the most recent one after Genesis is Terminator Dark Fate. That's Dark, F-A-T-E, not F-E-T-E. It's not a dark country fair. Yes, so the answer to question 7 is Dark Fate. I'm a big fan of the first few movies, but I haven't got around to seeing the last few. Probably not missing out on very much. Anyway, question 8. What is unusual about Brigadier Sir Nils Olav III, Colonel-in-Chief of the Norwegian King's Guard and a highly decorated member of the Norwegian Army? Well, what's unusual about him is he's a penguin. He's an actual living bird penguin. He's actually the third in a line of penguins who've been called Sir Nils Olav and have been Colonel-in-Chief and members of the army. He's kind of their mascot, but he's a fully decorated member of the army. And he's a penguin. So the answer to question 8 is penguin. Pierrot says, did I ever watch the Sarah Connor Chronicles? I did a bit, but I thought it was a bit pointlessly running around and being silly. Question, I don't think I watched it from the beginning. I sort of came in halfway through and was like, what is going on? Anyway, question 9. The first rule of Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club, but what is the 8th and final rule of Fight Club? I'll be very impressed if anyone remembers this. The 8th and final rule of Fight Club is, if this is your first night, you have to fight. So the answer to question 9 is, if this is your first night, you have to fight. From the excellent film, of course, by Chuck Palahniuk. I don't know how you pronounce his surname. Question 10. In The Old Curiosity Shop by Charles Dickens, who did Fred Trent want to marry his sister Nell? Was it Dick Spinner, Dick Turner, or Dick Swiveller? It was, of course, your friend and mine, Dick Swiveller. The answer is C. Okay, that brings us to the end of round 3. Let me know how you went in that, I think, fairly difficult round 3. And then we'll have, I think we'll have 2 Who Am I's again tonight. Game theory be damned. Ad's got 1. Pierrot got 1. Caroline got 1. Simone got 3. I knew she'd pull it out in the last round. Lauren got 3. Pretty good for a newbie. Elated Matt got 3. The same 3. Probably not. Did anybody know that Sir Nils Olav III was a penguin? Daff got 1. He guessed the US presidents. Kim got 2. Narelle got 3 and Stephen got 4. Nice one. Not that I have anything against Narelle. You understand. Okay. Facebook is not loaded, so I can't see the score. The score in a trivia 2 weeks ago. Well, there you go. There's only so many trivia questions in the world. Narelle guessed the wrong animal. Okay. So now we're going to have a Who Am I? Actually, we're going to have 2 Who Am I's, just to be confused. So the way this works, if you're in a tiebreaker, you can use this to settle your tiebreak. Or settle your tie, I should say. So I'm going to read out clues about a person or a country or a thing or a year or something. And as I go along, if you think you know the answer, you can have a crack at it. If you get it right, you win the tiebreaker. If you get it wrong, you lose the tiebreaker and the other person wins. So you want to be fast, but you have to be correct. So you have to weigh up speed versus accuracy, as is true in so many things in life. Anyway, if you're not having a tiebreak, then just play along and have a crack and see how you go. All right. So let's get cracking with the first Who Am I? I think I will do 2. But the first one, here we go. Who am I? I am a motor vehicle. I was introduced in 1965 and I'm still being manufactured today after several major redesigns. There is even an electric version of me now available. Peter says he had a total freeze out. Anyway, or maybe he's saying my signal is totally freezing out. Anyway, we're going to keep going. I have been marketed worldwide, and unusually, I have used the same model name in almost all markets, with the result that my name has become a generic term for a vehicle of my class. It's claimed that in the 1970s in the UK, I was used for over 90% of robberies using a vehicle. I have been the best-selling light commercial vehicle in Europe for over 40 years. I was one of the first light commercial vehicles to place the engine in front of the driver, greatly increasing comfort and safety. I am considered one of the great successors of Henry Ford's grandson, Henry Ford II, who combined the engineering efforts of Ford America and Ford of Germany, who had previously operated as competitors. I have been available in many configurations, but I am most commonly seen in the mid-size and large van format. I am the Ford Transit. That's right. I like the the fact that in the 1970s in the UK, I was used for over 90% of robberies using a vehicle. I guess that's something you could put in the brochure. So anyway, yes, and the first who am I? I am the Ford Transit. Never owned one. I've owned quite a few Mitsubishi vans over the years, but never a Transit. Okay. Hope that settled your tie break. But we're going to have one more just for a laugh. Maybe more difficult this one. We'll see. Who am I? I was born in Syracuse, Sicily, in approximately 287 BC. It is not known if I ever married or had children. Several reports exist of my death, but it is widely accepted that I was killed by a Roman soldier in around 212 BC, when Syracuse was captured by General Marcus Claudius Marcellus. It is said that I was contemplating a diagram drawn in chalk on the floor when summoned to the general by a soldier. I refused, insisting I must continue with my work, and the soldier, enraged, killed me with his sword. General Marcellus was angered by my death, as he had ordered that I not be harmed, as I was a valuable scientific asset to the empire. There are a huge number of scientific discoveries and inventions credited to me, including a method for drawing water uphill, which still bears my name. I also apparently built a heat ray to focus the sun's rays and destroy enemy ships. I am also remembered for discovering the use of liquids to measure the volume and density of complex objects, as told in the anecdote where I observed the water line in a bath raise as I entered it, causing me to run through the streets naked, shouting, "Eureka!" I am Archimedes. A tube, and if you turn it, the screw action pulls the water up. You can pump water uphill, which is quite a big deal back in the day. So yes, I am Archimedes. Peter says he lost me, so I'm going to give him the who am I's in text. How's that for service with a smile? Did that work? Okay. Good. That's the end. Hope you had fun. Narelle 36, Stephen 31.5. Narelle got both. Who am I? Nice one. What's your total score, Pierre? Says Lauren. I like a bit of feistiness in the comments. Friendly crowd. Needs more geography. Yes, we were a little light on geography this week. Had a couple of island questions. Had the state question. But we're a little light on geography. Got to keep it varied. All right, Simone. See you all next time. Remember to check out the Facebook page, Virtual Aussie Pub Quiz. I'm going to post the event right after this time, so hopefully it'll last a long time. We'll get more people next week. Otherwise, just tune in and yeah, see you next week. Stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you around. Bye.